All right, Duke Dogs, we are going to learn the rest of the water cycle today. Now remember yesterday, we practiced making a cycle with our left arm, and then we practiced with our right arm, because the cycle goes around and around and keeps going. Our cycle is going to use both arms, so I need you to practice with me. Now, we learned yesterday about evaporation. Evaporation is when the water rises to the sky. Something happens in the sky, and then the water comes back down again, and it evaporates again. It does this again, and then it comes down. So our water cycle is going to be like this. We're going to learn some new words today too. Do you see what's on my window? Raindrops. It is raining outside, and that may be one of the answers to our burning question: where does water come from? Rain has a scientific word: precipitation. Precipitation is part of the water cycle. We are going to make one of these today. This is like a little pretend world where the water is on Earth, in the ocean, or in lakes, or ponds, or rivers, or puddles. And we already know about evaporation, where it rises up into the sky with water vapor. But the sun has a job, clouds have a job, and precipitation has a job. Do you remember our burning question that we were asking after we read the book, I Am the Rain? That burning question was, where does water come from? Well, we are going to do our own demonstration of how water comes down from the sky, especially since we know about evaporation already. Say hello to Walter the goldfish. I have the camera propped up to the goldfish bowl. I'm going to turn it around. Now, you can see what we're going to do with our pretend world. We have one world that's going to be on a Ziploc bag. We have one that's going to be in a jar. And we have some water. So we can see the water that is on the earth, right? Yes. Now this is upside down so that we can, we're going to put some ice up here in a minute. But I'm going to pour the water in, and then we're going to turn it upside down. Put the top on, and hope it doesn't leak. Ugh. Is that enough water to be the ocean? That's close enough. All right. And so we can do this in a jar. We can do it in a water bottle. If you have a plastic water bottle at home, that's actually what they use in the at the place online that I'm gonna give your parents. I'm gonna pour some water in here too, because you can also do this investigation in this bag and just tape it to the window. I don't know how many sunny days we're gonna have soon. I think it's supposed to rain all week, but you can still watch. Now, on here, on the jar and on the bag, there's the water, whether it's a pond or a lake or a puddle or the ocean. We also have the sunshine. Now, what does the sun give us? It gives us warmth, doesn't it? It heats the earth. And we need the sun. We love the sun. It's not very warm out there right now, but we know that it will be. And the sun creates lots of heat. We also see clouds in the sky. What comes from clouds? Different things, doesn't it? It depends on the temperature. So many things depend on the temperature. I'm going to go, you can watch. I'm going to go put this on the window right now. I'm going to put it on the window where the sun shines in the morning. So I've taped it to the window and I can watch what happens with the water because it's going to make a water cycle in the bag after the water heats up. All right, scientists, I warmed up the ocean in the microwave. So the sun has been heating the ocean water so that it has gotten very warm on the top of the water where the sun was shining down on it. Can you see what's happening inside the jar? Oh, maybe you can't. Can you see the water vapor inside? Ooh, it has already, there's some water droplets inside. We are seeing evaporation taking place already, and where the water is turning into water droplets, that's called condensation. The water is condensing or coming together and making bigger droplets because it's cooling off. It's hot while it's in here, and then when it goes up into the air, it cools, and then it slows down. Remember about warmer and cooler molecules? The warmer ones are super active, and the cooler they get, they slow down. When they slow down, they turn into bigger and bigger drops, and when the drop gets big enough, down it comes. All right, look what else I'm gonna do. Something we have not already said is that as water vapor rises up in the sky, it gets colder and colder as it gets farther away from Earth. So I'm putting a piece of ice on top. Let's see what happens. Because the water vapor is rising into the atmosphere and getting colder and colder and slowing down, and all the water droplets start joining together. And when water droplets join together in the sky, you know what we call them when we can see them? Clouds. You knew that already. Let's see if we can see something happen inside the jar because of the ice cube making the air at the very top colder. You know what I see in there, Duke Dogs? I see rain. You know what the big science word for rain is? Precipitation. Those water droplets are getting so big and heavy that they have to fall down. Ooh, did you see that big drop from the middle of the top of the jar? It's raining inside our jar because the water droplets have gotten cold and condensed with condensation, and then the cloud got so full of heavy water droplets that they had to fall, and it made precipitation. So we are seeing an example of the water cycle. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation. And because the sun is always shining and there's always water on the earth, that's the cycle that keeps going. Duke Dogs, here's another way you can make your own condensation with your breath. Because your breath is full of water droplets too. Water vapor. Watch. Can you see where my breath is on the window? That is condensation because my warm breath went on the cold window and made the water vapor slow down and stick. Did you know you can make your own condensation? Duke Dogs, here is the whole water cycle. We have evaporation of water vapor going up into the sky. When the water vapor droplets get colder and colder, they start sticking together. They start condensing. And condensation turns the water vapor into clouds. And then when the clouds get full of heavy water droplets, the water droplets fall with precipitation, and then it starts all over again. Now, precipitation can be rain. It might be snow if it's cold, or sleet or hail. But precipitation is when the water that has condensed in the sky falls to the ground. Let's practice our water cycle actions. Ready? Evaporation, condensation, precipitation. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation. Woo! Evaporation, condensation, precipitation. That is the water cycle. It goes on and on and on, and it will never stop. And we're thankful because we need water every day, all the time.